What is going on, everybody? It is Jamie Shaw here on the Absolute Basketball Experience. And today's guest, we are talking to NCAA interim head coach Will Jones. We talked to him about the season they had last year, the incoming class that NCAA has, and their mark within the state of North Carolina, and their trajectory moving forward. It's a great talk, a very interesting story that he has. But before we get into it, we ask that you please subscribe to this channel and go ahead and like this video. And if you enjoyed the conversation, please be sure to share it across your platforms as well. We would very much appreciate that. And in the comments below, we want to hear from you the favorite North Carolina A&T player that you've ever had. Please go ahead and let us know. Put it in the comments below. We want to know who your favorite is. But without further ado, here is NCAA interim head coach Will Jones on the Absolute Basketball Experience with Jamie Shaw. What is going on, everybody? It is Jamie Shaw here with the Absolute Basketball Experience. I am joined by North Carolina A&T interim head coach Will Jones. Will, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. A little rainy out there today, but I guess we're inside, so that doesn't matter a whole lot.
There you go. Yeah, well, been inside a lot lately. I'm just looking for reasons to get outside these days.
Oh, no question.
So growing up, you grew up in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Pastor Stephen Furtick, Charlemagne the God, both also from Moncks Corner. I'd say pretty successful people, especially from a small city.
We put some people out there in the atmosphere. Charlemagne, Stephen. We all went to school together. Actually, me and Stephen Furtick, we went to daycare together. So I've known him since I've been probably 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. But
yeah.
Small town, really a football town. But we've been able to put some people out there in basketball also. Bruce Ellington, the latest D1 who played football at South Carolina and basketball at South Carolina also. That's in the NFL. So we've got some accolades there in town.
No question, man. That's pretty neat. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I know people. That's cool. From there, you went on to play at South Carolina State, where you graduated cum laude, member of the MEAC All-Academic team from 01 to 03. What was your time like in Orangeburg, South Carolina?
Man, coming from high school, played both sports, basketball and football. Was able to play for a really, really good coach, Jerry Brown, and won a championship in football. I actually had a chance to win a couple in football, but we ended up winning one. So to have the opportunity to go to Orangeburg and play for Cy Alexander, who had been winning a championship every other year in the MEAC, and the program was rolling at that point in time, was unbelievable. And so, being a part of that culture, having a chance to play for him and learn under him in Orangeburg was unbelievable.
And before coming to A&T, you coached all throughout the ranks, high school, to low major, mid major. What piece of advice would you give a young coach who's trying to break in? And then also, what advice would you give to a coach who's trying to move up?
Man, you haven't learned this business until you get fired. And that's the first thing I'll say. You haven't learned this profession, this business until you get, those papers that, your last paycheck's coming in 3 weeks. And so, having the opportunity to work at a number of different institutions at a number of different levels, you have to be able to do the job where you are. And a lot of people say that, and it's kind of cliche, but it's what you have to do if your goal is to be a head coach. And I realize that everybody's goal isn't to be a head coach. Some guys just want to be great recruiters. Some guys want to be director of ops. I mean, they're not interested in that. And so if that's what you want to do, whatever you decide, you better become the best that you can be everywhere your stop is, and you have to really indulge yourself and really be good at what you want to do. And from the moving up standpoint, that's going to be relationship based, and, making sure you keep yourself in a marketable situation where people like you and you're doing a good job and people revere your work. And, those phone calls will start to come by the people that you're close with, your assistants that talk to their boss about you. And so all of those things transpire to help you move up.
And you came to A&T in 2016. Um, I guess before y'all came, they were in a down period. You and the staff came and win a lot of games really well and doing all that kind of stuff. What was it that you specifically and you as the staff saw in the program, the potential to turn things around? Under Coach Joyner and what y'all did. What potential did y'all see in the program coming in?
Resources were there. I really compared it to being in the Big South, being in Atlantic 10, and dealing with budgets there, and just saying, hey man, we have more resources than we had, when I was at some other schools. And so at that point, it was about relationships, coaches that I've been in contact with, our staff has been in contact with, and really going out there and getting a player that would allow us to take the program in an entire different level. And a lot of times it's about the people in the office, not necessarily what you have on campus, what your gym looks like, what your campus looks like. It's really about the people that sit in the chairs that allow you to go out there and stretch and get players that allow you to come in and be successful. So we were able to use our relationships and leverage to get some good guys. And once we got a pretty good class that second year, which we had some guys sitting out, it became a lot more attractive to a lot of more guys.
No doubt. In 2018, you were promoted up to associate head coach. This gave you more responsibility in the recruiting, on-court teaching, the defensive coordinator, and all that kind of stuff. How did that experience over the last couple of years help you grow?
Man, people will tell you titles are for money. You get a little, you get a little bit more in your check with the titles. But the experience goes back to what you've done over the course of your career. And at Jacksonville, Cliff Warren really allowed me to stretch myself at Jacksonville and really start to hone my coaching skills, and really, on-court coaching and doing a lot with defense and offense. And then coming here at A&T with Coach Joyner, who we started in the business together. Defense was what he needed, me to take care of. And so I really focused on trying to make our defensive strategies as best as we could do. And it just comes with hard work. It comes with, spending time and, going different places, videos, film work. You got to dive into it. And so, that's something that I did. When you get those opportunities, you got to capitalize.
And this past season, December 27th, you're named the interim head coach. You got 2 days to soak that in, because then all of a sudden you go up to Champaign, Illinois to take on Kofi Cockburn, Ayu Dosunmu, all these guys in the University of Illinois. What was your mindset like? I'm sure the whirlwind, but what was your mindset like heading into that game?
Once we got past, the surprise, basically, at that point, the job was to make sure these guys were prepared and, comfortable to go on the road and play well. And so I didn't want to, clog their minds with a whole bunch of different things. And so we just went down there and I told them I wanted them to play as fast as we could on makes and misses, push the ball down the floor, everybody run, run, pitch it up, see if we can get a wide open shot. And we were able to do that. And actually it was a game, it was a game for a while until they stretched it there in the last 10 minutes. But, I wanted the guys to embrace the running because I knew that that's what we were going to do going forward.
And after that Illinois game, you finished the season 14-4 in the final 18 games as the head coach. The team really seemed to gel during that time. How were things clicking during that time span?
Man, it was unbelievable. We were kind of going from, more of a half-court team to a up-and-down team. And with the athletes that we have, they really embraced it, with Cam at the point, and Quay and Tyler. Those guys were getting their legs up under them, and, some of the other guys that we had, that were freshmen and sophomores, and our forwards, they really bought in. And we scored 123 points in our first game at home versus a non-D1. And yes, it was a non-D1, but to be able to score 123 points, it really kind of woke our guys up like, man, we can do this. We were just scoring 59 points a game, 2 weeks ago. And then we go on the road for our first two conference games and, score again in the high 80s and 90s and beat two teams by 30-plus points. And at that point, they really started to believe in our style and how we played, and it really just took off from there.
Um, in this class, A&T has two JUCO transfers coming in with Jeremy Robinson and Quentin Jones. You have NC State transfer Blake Harris coming in. And then you signed Matthews and Joyner out of high school. What can people expect out of this class coming in this next year?
Man, it's going to be very, very exciting. More of the same. I think this group's very talented. We got a core group of veterans coming back and very talented class coming in. And so, the two JUCO transfers, Quentin being, a 6'8", stretch four with a good body. Mullins had him rated at a high major in the fall and a mid-major plus his last report. So we were very, very excited to get him. And Jeremy Robinson, being from Raleigh, was on the West Coast for a year. A couple of people kind of forgot about him, and he had some really good schools after him, but wanted to get back to the East Coast, and we were lucky to get him. And so those two guys we expect to come in and have an immediate impact on our team, and then the freshmen will have to come in and earn some opportunities, because at the guard spot we're loaded. We have some veterans, and we need them to just come in and buy into the culture. And if they do that, we have a chance to be as good as we've been over the last couple of years.
The three names you mentioned on the roster already, Cam and Tyler and Quay, they're all North Carolina guys. 3 of these 5 guys in this class right now are North Carolina guys as well. Obviously, in the MEAC, it's an older league, it's a stronger league, and all that kind of stuff. But how important is it to this program to put a fence around their backyard in the state of North Carolina and bring in some of the best talent North Carolina has to offer?
Well, going forward, this is the last class that we recruited for the MEAC. We're going to the Big South after this season. If we do get to play, hopefully we do get to play. But so recruiting now is really focused the philosophy as far as what we need to get. Working in the Big South, and a lot of 4-year guys and really talented high school players go to a lot of those institutions. And so North Carolina is, one of the most talented high school basketball states in the country. And so we're going to do our job to be a very, very active staff recruiting in the state. And recruiting our share of guys to represent our school in that league. And so we're going to do it aggressively. We're going to build relationships early, and we're going to try to get kids on campus as early as we can and forge those relationships so that we can put those kids in jerseys going forward.
And in the mindset of the program, what's the significance of moving to the Big South?
For A&T, the growth of the school, not just in basketball success, but academically, a lot of great things going on. Athletically, almost in every sport, we're competing at the top. We're competing for championships in every level. And so I think our leadership decided that they wanted to try to continue to move the needle. And, the Big South was one of a couple leagues that they looked at, and a place that they wanted to start. I think they don't want to, it's going to be a place that we're for a couple of years, and I think they sights on another level, but they want to do it in the right progression and allow budgets to be where they need to be and support to be where it needs to be to continue to be successful. But I think the Big South regionally, how the schools are mapped, it's definitely a perfect fit.
During this time, obviously, we're in quarantine. People staying at home as much as possible kind of prevents face-to-face stuff with the team and everything. How are you and the team handling this time of quarantine, and kind of what does your day-to-day, week-to-week schedule look like?
Like every coach, man, right now, we're still monitoring guys, making sure they're doing what they need to do academically, making sure they're safe, making sure that they're not running into any issues back home because mom and dad kicked them out a couple of years ago. And so they're not used to being in the house with mom and dad every day. So, but, just making sure they're getting what they need from a support standpoint from us. And then we've started a series of leadership with our guys that we meet every Wednesday and talk about the pillars of our program and what we stand for, and have some conversations and interactions with our guys going forward because, we didn't get a chance to do that. When I stepped in as the interim coach, we just were playing basketball. So now we're kind of going back and trying to, define some things and talk about some things. But, you got to allow this time to allow you to be better. And so right now, communicating like we're communicating on Zoom and interactive, it kind of gives the kids no avenue ever not to communicate. And so, you're used to doing this now. And hopefully going forward, it still is a tool that we use going forward.
Off of last year's team, you lose Ronald Jackson. That's a big loss, but you have a lot of stuff coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off of this momentum, this run that y'all had to end the year, what can people expect off of next year's team? What can people expect from next year's team?
Man, I think the guys are very, very excited. Just like you said, to have as many guys as we have coming back. We talked about that yesterday in our meeting. The core group setting the standard, and what does that mean? What does the standard mean? What's our standard? We're going to come out there and try to build on this momentum on the court, in the classroom, in recruiting. We average almost 4,500 fans a game in conference play since starting in December. And so the atmosphere that we have at home is one of the best in the country. And we just want to continue to make our fans and the school and the students, we want to make them, happy to come to the games and support them. And we just want to continue to play good basketball. And that's what we're going to look forward to.
Absolutely. And I guess in kind of wrapping things up here, we like to do a little rapid fire, ask you 3 quick questions, and you just give us whatever first answer pops into your mind with it. What song is it that you can listen to all day long and not get tired of it?
Oh man, it's Young Jeezy. Whatever is Young Jeezy, that's what I listen to. Young Jeezy on game day. Young Jeezy. I just let it play. I don't even know the name of songs. People that know the names of songs have too much time. I just let the beat play. I say, oh, you know what? I know that song. I don't know the name of it, but I know that song. So I would say Young Jeezy.
I feel you. What would the title of your autobiography be?
Interim.
Interim.
And I think interim. This position, this time, and I've said this now. I'm gonna write a book, man. It's gonna be called Interim, because I don't know if anybody's ever written one of an interim coach that's taken over in the middle of the year and having to deal with X, Y, and Z. And so I think that's what the name of it will be, Interim.
And what is your favorite fast food restaurant, and what is your go-to meal there?
ChickfilA is undefeated, man. I mean, I don't know what they put in that meat. I mean, there's something in that meat that they put in just make us come back for no reason. I just want Chick-fil-A every day. You know what I mean? And so a Chick-fil-A sandwich, it keeps me coming back.
I can't hate on you for that at all. Their milkshakes are great too.
Oh, no doubt. I can't drink too many of those.
What's your go-to sauce at Chick-fil-A?
I'm a honey mustard guy at Chick-fil-A, man.
Okay.
I started with that Polynesian sauce early. But honey mustard kind of won me back over the last couple.
I got you. Brought you back home. My wife's a Polynesian. She likes the Polynesian. I like the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, the Chick-fil-A sauce is good too. I mean, sometimes I don't care. We get a lot of Chick-fil-A on road trips, and it's whatever they put in my seat. So whatever it tastes good on the chicken. I don't care what sauce it is.
I hear that. Oh, so do you have any last words to the fans, to the NCAA fans, and all that kind of stuff that they hear? That any last thing to part them with?
We have a lot of fans, at A&T that follow basketball in North Carolina, and so just know that your staff and programs out here competing for the best players in the state, and lucky to have a lot of really good teams, a lot of good coaches in the state, and I just want to, we're gonna jockey for position, more than we have in the past, and I think it's going to be an exciting time for us.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me on here. It really means a lot that you're able to come on and spend some time with us and talk with us and let us know about your vision and what you got going.
Definitely, man. Same thing to you. Read some really good things about you guys and what you guys are doing here in the next couple of months. Big time for the kids in North Carolina, bringing that attention to the state, man. And so we appreciate all you guys do.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. For NCAA interim head coach Will Jones, I am Jamie Shaw on the Absolute Basketball Experience. We'll see you next time. And there you have it. NCAA interim head coach Will Jones on the Absolute Basketball Experience with Jamie Shaw. Really great talk. Really interesting to hear his point of view getting through last season and where the program is moving forward with some very positive stuff going on. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Please go ahead and like this video as well. And remember in the comments below your favorite NCAA player of all time. Very interested to see some of the names that come across the timeline there. Until next time, I am Jamie Shaw on the Absolute Basketball Experience for Will Jones. Thank you guys very much.